First thing is, how has Livewire helped you? Okay, because for me, one of the biggest things that I see as Livewire, you know, why I feel like everyone should go to Livewire is when I think about my sort of journey of being at Livewire through secondary school and then staying at it through college and then having my periods of Livewire. I leave for a while and then I come back. Like when I went to uni, I can really see how Livewire has like shaped my life and how everything that I've gone through in my life that is significantly bad, significantly good, I share it with this like outside of related family, but it still is a family, and they all, you know, you guys all know about me, I know about all of you, and it's kind of like, you know, I have grown up with Livewire, and it is kind of like Livewire is my life. I don't know if any of you feel the same way.
So like for me, when I started, I was really not very confident at all. I used to hate performing. I started when I was 16, when I finished school, and then just from like there to now, you know, I was playing like maybe chords on a guitar, and now I play like a bit of everything. I tried out dance, I now do theatre, so I've just like the amount of skills that I've gained, like I would not gain them anywhere else. Like I genuinely couldn't see myself being the person I am today if I didn't come here. And yeah, I've just learned so much, and I'm a much more confident person, and I'm much more comfortable in myself as well. And Livewire is definitely like being the thing that has made that happen.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on the confidence front. It's something I can see with anybody that joins Livewire. The person they are when they join and who they are.
Oh yeah,
you can see even a couple months in, you can see the journey that they're going on, and like you, it's really shaped my life, and I can pinpoint times in my life where I haven't been in a while versus when I've been going regularly, because I don't know, this is going to sound very cringe, I am my best person, I am my best self when I'm here. Because it brings out such a confident side in me, such an outgoing side of me.
I think it's also interesting how you said, for me, it was the opposite. I'd come in confident, but I think Livewire provided me a channel to channel that confidence in a more positive way, and actually use that confidence in a better way than it was being used. And I think it's interesting that obviously there's people that didn't have the confidence before coming, but I think it's also useful for people that do have the confidence before coming and being able to channel that confidence. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
And I think what you said, which is so important, is the idea of like the channeling. Is that like Livewire just gave me just something productive to do growing up, which stopped me from getting bored and kind of like dwelling on my mental health, and like it keeps you socialising, being proactive, and it was just like such a breath of fresh air as well. And it's so welcoming, because like I've been in a new school for a while, stopped doing performing arts, wasn't very confident, and then Christine here invited me to a Livewire session, and then it changes things.
I mean, I remember starting, I wasn't very confident either. I think it's just really fun as well. It's been so, I always know when I've come home, like from a theatre challenge especially, I would like have laughed so much on that day, and I would feel, I'm like, oh, okay, this is a really nice space. I still feel comfortable. I'm like 10 years down the line, I still feel just as comfortable as when I was like 12.
And I think that's the thing. I think like when you're like being comfortable like with Livewire, especially in a town like Harlow where Livewire is, I think Livewire, by having young people come to it and stuff and getting them into something active and off the street, Livewire genuinely saves lives. Like I know Livewire saved my life. I'm sure it saved yours, because if I didn't have Livewire, I wouldn't be doing what I do now. I don't know where I'd be now. Like without Sam, without Becky, without Steve, without anyone, without you guys. Do you know what I mean? Like it's.
It does. I think it just provides a community. Sorry, Hannah. I think it provides such a community where you can. And you can always come back. You can leave, and when you come back, you're just as welcome.
You never feel
always open.
Exactly.
It's literally like I'd call it like a lifeline. It's something that keeps. I'm sure with everyone, it keeps you going. Like you said, it saved lives. It's definitely like saved mine. It's something that you look forward to, and it inspires you, and it really does. It keeps you going, and you never ever like. You don't get to a Wednesday and go, oh no, or a Thursday and go, oh no. You're like, it's a Wednesday, it's Livewire, it's Thursday, it's Livewire, and it really helps like structure the week and really gives you something to look forward to.
And it's really unique skills as well, like the improvisation skills you get from Livewire. I don't think you get anywhere. Even if you like acting, I think a lot of it is, in a lot of other theatre groups, is very scripted. I think the good thing about Livewire for me was that not only did I get to do acting, which I really enjoyed, but created things all of the time. I got to think for myself, I got to think about staging and story, which is like a massive other side of it, and I think a lot of us have felt like that skill carry on. I think a lot of us actually prefer that side of it.
I think that's really, really interesting, because I don't know, Harry, Becky, you guys went to like drama school. I don't know if you found this, but at Livewire, obviously it's always been free, and I try things, and I know you, Harry, I'm not sure about you, Becky, I try things where it costs about £60 to £80 a month, another drama group and stuff, to try and learn all these skills. But when I got to drama school, sort of like the big final step, I realised that the tools I was using are the tools that I was taught at Livewire for free. You know, all that sort of stuff, like collaborative building, ensemble building, that's the stuff you take forward. Working with another human being, like you don't need all of these like fancy skills. You just need to learn how to get along with each other.
Exactly. That is where Livewire differs from other sort of drama groups, because we're creating every show we do. And it's such a collaborative effort. Every scene we do, it's have you got an idea? Have you got an idea? Okay, let's smash these together. Let's bring in this idea. You're always a part of what you're creating. Whereas,
I say, it makes you feel very seen.
Exactly. And whereas in sort of if you're putting on a show that's scripted, there's such a divide between you, the performer, and the person directing it. You don't really get a say in what goes on. And I feel like it's such an important skill to be able to collaborate on things.
I think even beyond, I think even beyond creative skills, the interpersonal skills that you gain here are so valuable. Like Leah said, the team working skills, public speaking. My public speaking has improved so much just by speaking amongst young people, because it's always more daunting in your own age group to speak to people.
Especially the topics that we talk about. When you, we have that safe space to be able to put across our views and about really important things, and then, like you say, it really helps with your...
And I think just discussions as well, I feel like we have a lot of discussions, like when we get together and do good and new and challenging. I think even that in and of itself is so valuable, just to have.
And that's a really safe space, because sometimes people will just, just talk about whatever they want to, but sometimes someone will just bring up something really, I don't know, personal or deep or serious, just kind of within the circle, and no one makes you feel weird for that, because it's just such a welcome. I always said, growing up, I was like, I've never been in a space anywhere else where I felt so comfortable and so much like everyone around me was all on the same page as me, wasn't out to kind of be nasty or judgmental.
Everyone's on the same side.
And it's a really special thing, and I think all of us, but also I think Sam and Becky and Steve, it's like a big ethos to have that. Like as soon as anyone brings anything that's a little bit cruel or maybe brings a bit of a hierarchy to it, it's like it's clicked up like straight away, like because it's something that just doesn't happen here. No one, you kind of brought up through Livewire thinking that's not how we work.
So I'd say there's like no competition. You don't come here with the pressure and the competition to be the best or to get a lead role or to get this, that, the other day. Is absolutely no competition or pressure. Everyone gets a chance, everyone gets an input.
Everyone's happy for one another.
Exactly. And there's no auditions or anything, like in other places, you know. And I think that would turn me, if I knew I had to like audition, I think it would have put me off a lot more. And I think you feel more willing to try things and be more experimental because you don't have that pressure. And what you put in is what you give to a show. So that
like
encourages
rejection
confidence.
isn't an option. Like
Yeah.
you'll never get
Yeah, that's a
rejected.
good one.
Exactly,
And you
yeah.
can try
So-
out.
Yeah.
There's no harm done if something bad happens.
Exactly.
If it doesn't work
I
out.
tried
Just
out
move past
dance
it.
and I've tried out obviously
Yeah.
drama.
Yeah.
I didn't come
Yeah.
from theatre or drama
Yeah.
or dance. I was just here originally for music, and I've just branched out. It's nice that everyone gets that opportunity and that chance.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of overlap between a lot of us. Like I tried out dance.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
You guys are here doing drama. You also do dance. Like Becky sings. Like there's
Yeah.
so much overlap, and there's that space to explore. Which
I
I
mean,
think is
people
really
even do like lighting and stuff.
Yeah.
Like people
Yeah.
do like behind the scenes. Some people give that a go. Like
cool.
you don't get that opportunity like anywhere
No,
else for
no.
free.
That,
It's
and I think
crazy.
that's the big thing as well. It's free.
Yeah, which means nobody feels like because if you make it not free, then there's an elite amount of people that can
Yeah.
go there. It's a certain
Yeah.
type of person.
There are so many people that just would not have that access. I definitely know I wouldn't. I know
Mm.
so many other people that just,
Yeah.
you know, and it means that other people can bring other people. It branches your networks out and brings more people in. It's just, yeah.
And that's like what I think the fundamental thing about Livewire is it's accessible.
Yeah.
Because I care about Livewire so much, the amount of times we've been worried about his future, I've said, Sam, like even if it's £1 a time, I'd
Yeah.
pay it. But it was like, no, it will always be free. And that's the fundamental thing
Exactly.
about Livewire.
Yeah.
It's got to be to make it work and to
Yeah.
like, support everyone that it
100%.
supports.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
at a time where theatre is very inaccessible to a lot of people,
Yeah.
this is always accessible, and it brings people who probably never would have thought they'd even have a future in
No.
or ever considered a future in theatre,
Yeah.
and it suddenly makes that a possibility for them because it's free,
Yeah.
and it lets anybody from anywhere join.
I mean, I think it speaks for itself that we're all here, like
Yeah.
all of us.
Years along the line, yeah.
Like,
All
I-
different.
Yeah, exactly. And some of us haven't pursued, but I'm not necessarily pursued a career in acting, but I still come because I really enjoy it and I think it's still a fun hobby for me. And also the skills, as everyone said, it's given me has been used in every single job I've had. And I talk about it in every single job I have. It's a great part of my CV. It's like a really good thing for interviews and things. I'm so different to how I was 10 years ago in terms of that. So I just think, yeah, we're all still here, all, you know.
And speaking passionately as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, we've got together in our own free time,
Yeah,
speaking passionately about what we care about.
exactly.
Yeah.
I know.
And it brings people together that might not otherwise usually like gravitate towards each other
absolutely.
in like
That's
in
really true.
normal life. I remember like growing up through secondary school, none of my friends ended up being from my school because they're all Livewire people.
Yeah.
It was like all Livewire people just from different schools because that's like the people that I wanted to be with.
Yeah, I mean, some of my best memories were like the theatre challenges.
Happiest
and
days.
Absolutely.
It really,
Yeah.
like,
They were fun.
I can't think of a happy day because everyone again wants to be there. You're spending like a week in, let's say, in the summer. Again, it's nice because you feel like you're doing something that means something, and you get up and you're with all of these people that you wouldn't have met before, and you're all really good friends, and you play like games. It's still fun, but then you get to actually make something, and you know it's going to be unique because there's no way any other place could create what you create because you've got all of those brains working together. And I think we always do a really good job of making sure everyone's, even if the end result is a bit like mad, I think
I'm always really proud of what we make.
Yeah,
Always
me
at the
too.
end, I'm like, I've never put on a show and be like, oh, this was a bit not great. Like, I've always come away feeling really, proud and chuffed and happy.
How have you guys found it? You're younger members of the...
Yeah, I think at the start of my secondary school experience, I've been coming to Livewire for like 5 years, so since but like year 5. But at the start of my secondary school experience, I was really like faking who I was to impress people at my school. But I think when I came to Livewire, I could be myself because I knew I wouldn't be judged. And there was people that was like me and people that wasn't like me, but I still got on with everybody. And I think now coming to like not the end, but near to the end of my secondary school experience. I think if I hadn't come to Livewire every week, hadn't come to Livewire every week, I'd be very different, and I'd still be like how I was at the start of year 7, which isn't a good thing. So I think it's really created a positive impact on my life and how I am as a person.
Yeah. Like I joined around a year ago, and then I did we went to the same school, but we didn't speak to each other. And then I started dancing with her, and we're best friends now. So you meet new people, you work with new people, and it's just fun. And it's just at the end of theatre challenges, I'm really sad because it's over. We did challenge, what now?
It's really sad.
And it boosts your confidence a lot because people include you, make you feel welcome. And if you have for me, school takes a big toll on my mental health. So when I'm on a Wednesday or Thursday, I'm okay, I've got Livewire today, guys. It's good. We're all good, guys. I'm okay. So I think that's it's really important that Livewire also helps with mental health and
really.
And I think you always feel heard at Livewire. If you're with your friends or you're at school, you can sometimes go home and think, nobody listened to me today, or what I wanted to say was not heard by everybody. But I've never gone home from a Livewire session and thought, nobody listened to me. I always know that somebody has listened to my opinions and taken in how I felt.
Create such close connections. One of my biggest memories is coming from getting my GCSE results to a Livewire show, and I went, I passed maths, and everyone cheered for me because everyone knew I was so bad at maths. So everybody knows each other so well, and it's just such a nice thing to know that you've got support around you, and that you're not alone, even if everyone will always listen to you.
Definitely, even if you are struggling, I had a time where I felt unsafe when I was out in public. I had people that were being inappropriate, so I went straight over to Livewire and I just stayed there because that was my safe space. It's always a safe space. No matter, you can talk to people and they will help you through whatever you're going through.
It is a lifeline. I like how you put it earlier. A lifetime lifeline.
And the thing about the lifetime thing as well is I think it's generational. I still remember Livewire members who are in their 30s now, who were helping in sessions when I was much younger. And also they're still so friendly when I see them out and around. And it's it goes all the way back, and he's still continuing on and on. And as you grow up through Livewire, you get opportunities from Livewire, and you get to pass on and help out with the sort of younger generations at Livewire. And we went and taught a PRU unit because of Livewire, and being able to pass on that kind of ethos of Livewire was amazing, really rewarding.
I was literally going to say helping out is the most rewarding thing I can do. From moving, you start to feel I'm getting older. These people, I'm no longer learning with them. I'm now teaching them, and then you move up and helping out is just it's so rewarding seeing other people succeeding as well. And when you watch people get those milestones, for me it's mainly in music. You watch someone write a song, they tell you that they can't write lyrics, and then at the end of the session they have a full lyrics to a song, things like that. It's just really nice to see and to continue that on.
And I feel when you're helping out and you see younger children, you can see yourself in them, and I feel you're at Livewire, I know you're going to be okay. It will get there, it will work out.
I remember everyone here when they were younger. I remember you when you were younger. And you were really different. And I think, absolutely. But so was I. And I remember everyone from my generation when we were younger. I think you grow so much, but you're kind of growing together, so it feels really special. I don't think anything can take away from that.
That's the thing. I think where you have the ability to progress, going from year 1, which they're offering a space for year 1s all the way up until our age, that is insane. And you've got that whole journey through growing with like-minded and
I'm
very
so glad
different
they have
people.
that now, because
I was going to say those year 1s are so lucky in that they get to start that young and they can do this throughout. The things that they'll learn and the skills that they'll develop.
I couldn't imagine this town without it.
No,
I think think we'd all be lost without it.
Scary to think about.
It is really scary to think about because I think it's such an important thing for so many people, and it's just getting bigger, and it's still not losing its sense of what it was years and years ago, which is the best part of it. You know, my niece is now in it, and she's only like 10, and I can still already see a difference in her, and she's only gonna continue, and that's really, really nice for me, because I remember being just a bit older than her, joining, and how shy I felt, and how much I loved acting, but didn't feel like, you know, I didn't want to go to a company, I didn't want to, well, I couldn't afford to anyway, but I also didn't feel confident enough to audition or anything. Well, you don't feel that pressure at Livewire.
Yeah, I think in industry of arts like acting, dance, drama, and music, there is a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Several times people have told me like, "Are you sure you want to be a dancer?" Because not everybody makes it. But never once has Becky, Sam, or Steve ever said anything like that to me. I think there's no pressure to have to be the best. Like Mohammed said earlier, there's no competition.
No.
If you're doing what you love, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and it's a really competitive industry, pretty much everywhere else other than Livewire. So to give people that, to learn in that environment, that being creative is more than just trying to make it. Although of course that's important, but just to be able to do it and to have those skills and not think it's a waste of time before you've even given it a go.
It's also nice to be able to, like, I take myself out of my comfort zone all the time, but that's not from other people pressuring me to. That's my own choice, and that really helps in every aspect of life, because you're constantly put out of your comfort zone in the real world. And yeah, like, there's things that I wouldn't have been able to see myself doing years ago that I can do now. And yeah, it's the fact that you're able to challenge yourself, and that's also very inspiring. And you feel that kind of that want to do things. You really kind of, and it's nice to see other people do that as well.
Yeah, it's like nobody's out to get you, so you can do whatever you want. I just feel like you can explore literally everything, knowing that nobody's going to come like try do what you're doing or stab you in the back or do anything. Because you can literally do whatever you want. Everyone's on their own journey at Livewire. Like everyone's we keep talking about how everyone's like a group and a unity, but at the same time everyone's on their own journey, on their own path, making their own way. And I think that's really nice that everyone can be an individual but community at the same time.
Because it's a community, but not a community of people that all want to be the same and all strive for the same thing. Because I think that's when it becomes toxic, like in places like school, when everybody wants to be the same, and people are like, oh, it's a community, but it's not, because everybody wants to do the same thing. Like Livewire, everybody wants to do their own thing, but everyone's supporting each other. So I think that's really important.
Like the amount of support is actually crazy, especially from Sam, Becky, and Steve. Like I can tell Becky, oh, I want to do a back walkover. Becky will be like, all right, let's go. I'll help you. Go on. I'll teach you how to do it. Teach you what stretches to do, everything. Like they support you along the way for whatever skills you need or whatever skills you want. Just really like helpful.
There's no like limit to what you can do. Like if you come to music and you don't play anything, no worries. You're still included, and you can start to learn, because especially with like learning an instrument, it costs always. There's no kind of way around it. You're paying for the instrument, you're paying for your lessons. But here you can come along, you can use the instruments, and you can try and teach yourself, and you just have a supportive community. If you want to try the drums out one day, go ahead. If you're a pianist and you want to try out a guitar, alright, go ahead. There's no limit to like kind of what you can do.
And I think there's also no pressure to, if you're not comfortable, you're not comfortable. There's no pressure for you to step outside your comfort zone.
Never danced. I don't want to necessarily.
It's not a big deal. It's never a big deal.
No.
You don't want to do something so.
Okay, cool.
But everyone's also so encouraging as well. If you're kind of like, I don't really want to do it, you get that encouragement from other people. Everyone else wants to see you achieve as well. And then, like you say, if you're like, no, that's just not for me, no worries.
There doesn't need to be a commotion about it. That's flavor.
I always say it's the best decision I'm made.
That's literally what
I
say.
always
Yeah.
say it, which is like such almost cheesy sounding line, but I can really pinpoint it as something that was, it was kind of an out of the box decision for me. I knew about it from primary school, but I was really hesitant. I didn't even join for the first year because I was so scared, and so it felt like such a big push for me to go, which is why it feels like such a big reward now that I'm like, okay, if I hadn't made that decision, so much of my life would be different.
Mine was literally a fluke decision of a message. We need a couple of people, you know, they didn't even know what I could play. And if I'd have said no, I'd never have had all these opportunities that I've had. And I'm so grateful I said yes.
I never heard of Livewire, and then Holly invited me, and I was like, no, I won't go. And I remember I lived ages away, and I walked, I think it was like an hour to get here.
Oh.
And I've never left.
Yeah.
That's telling enough.
Yeah.
It's true.
But yeah.
I think also, like, especially with the theatre challenges, the amount of time and energy that people put into it. If it wasn't that rewarding, people wouldn't do it.
I tear up all the time, especially now that I'm
Oh,
older.
yeah.
There's been so many that are like, it's really emotional when especially in like the final performance.
Oh,
and
and the sense of community. Oh my! Before the performance is my absolute favourite.
Yeah.
It's the adrenaline. It's the
yeah.
oh, it's so beautiful.
The lunch before the show.
Yeah. yeah. And then afterwards, and you know, you get loads of people come. Loads of people, like old members, parents, family, friends. I will go to one if I've like not been able to join in the week, which often I don't anymore because of work. And still I'm amazed at like what people create. I'm still like, this is still so fun. I would never be able to watch something like this anywhere else.
And I think it's always fresh as well.
It is because so many people are creating things.
Exactly,
together.
you've got all these new brains working together.
Yeah.
And all very different people working together.
Yeah.
You're bound to create something new.
Yeah, which is why having people of different backgrounds is so important.
Absolutely.
And Livewire gets that probably more than pretty much every other space, just because it's free and so accessible.
Absolutely.
And I feel like the shows are not just shows. It's one thing to get young adults and children together and create a show, but it's another thing to raise awareness for so many different issues on a show. And then when so many people come and see, like even when you're performing and you just like someone will say something and you can just hear people in the audience like realising things.
Yeah.
So not only is it for free, not only is everybody coming together as a community, but you're raising awareness for so many things that are really important.
That's the thing with, like Christine said, we've covered so much. And it's always topical, it's always something that we as young people face, it's always something that we can have a discussion about.
Exactly, and we do.
And Livewire can facilitate a healthy conversation around
safe
around whatever topic we're doing. Like with Love Beach, what a beautiful performance! What a hard-hitting performance. Around a topical issue, and we had a safe space to facilitate that conversation and to create such a beautiful piece of work that we were all proud of, and that the audience were proud of, and I think that's really beautiful.
But on the flip side of that, it's also getting young people to think about things they might not necessarily.
Absolutely.
I remember when we did a play on immigration, and realistically, I was 13, 14 at the time. That wasn't really anything that I was thinking about, but then doing that play, discussing the topic, like it made me aware of everything that was going on. It made me care about everything a lot more. I don't know, it helps young people be a lot more
socially aware.
Socially aware, exactly.
Without having it forced upon them, you kind of live it, you immerse yourself in it, and everyone who's in it is bringing their unique perspective on it to the show. So there will be people who might have actually experienced things like that that can bring it to the show. Or we did like the LGBT one, or we did like, we've covered so much, we've covered like body image and everything. Everyone's got a different perspective on that, everyone's probably had a different experience with that, and with a show where everyone's contributing, you get to see all of those voices kind of combine in that in a way that you wouldn't even know. You might not know that line actually came from that person, because you know it's just a one-off moment within making it, but we will know that that was actually a big deal for somebody, or you know, it's such a creative, collaborative thing all of the time. Yeah. We love it.
Yeah! Woo! Woo! Got any questions, Leo?
Three months ago. To be fair, for everything, we kind of covered all of the questions.
I know,
Like, the last thing is there anything else that anybody wants to say on Livewire? Apart from it's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Please don't. Please
change
don't.
your
Love
life.
it.
We love it.
Please. This is my life. Please.
Only thing is,
Don't get rid of it.
only negative thing is that if you come, you don't want to leave.
Yeah.
Just don't let me
It's really hard. Like when you go to uni and stuff, it's actually really difficult. Yeah.
You go, oh, Livewire's alright.
Like when you're away, you miss your family, but then also you miss your Livewire.
I think that's the beauty of it as well. The theatre summer challenge, the summer theatre challenges. I remember, like, I'd see you guys in one summer theatre challenge, and then I wouldn't see you for a year, and it's just such a cosy feeling.
Yeah.
It's so hard to explain for me, but seeing you all again in one space, and we're all trying to achieve the same end goal for the end of the week. I think that's just really cosy.
Aww.